Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are working on a Hot Wheels. This is actually the first Hot Wheels I ever worked on, and this is the Packin Pacer, which was released in 1977, or at least it says copyright 1977. I think it actually came out in 78. So this is very close to being a red line. But red lines were discontinued in 1977, so this isn't a red line anymore, and I don't think it's very valuable in this condition. So this would have been the first release. It's in yellow and it would have had some decals on the hood and on the roof, and the model it resembles is actually an AMC Pacer. But this is not the regular AMC Pacer, it's the AMC Pacer wagon, and they put a giant engine in the back and very huge wheels. And for me, as a European guy, I have never really seen an AMC Pacer, or maybe I've seen once or twice, but for me, I just know the AMC Pacer from Wayne's World. And I know the Wayne's World AMC Pacer wasn't a wagon, but we are going to replicate our Wayne's World Dragster. So here we got it in the shop. As you can see, it says Packin Pacer 1977. And the wheel was a little strange because usually on those old Hot Wheels the wheels are a little different, but this one had only a little hole in it, or not a hole, but it had a dent in it so that I could drill it apart much easier, but then the drill slipped off and it was kinda hard to get this one apart, but I got there in the end. So as you can see, this car has really a lot of detail on the base, and it also has the old Hot Wheels logo. And what I should mention too, that it has a real nice metal base, and I always like metal bases. I think it's kinda sad they don't do it so often anymore today, because it just seems to let the car look much like it would be of a much better quality. So here we got the car apart. As you can see, there's a nice front, it's a little dirty, and an ugly chrome interior. Don't like chrome interiors. I don't know about you, but I don't like that. And a very scratched yellow windshield. But here we got the body. It has a couple dents in it, but other than that, it's in real nice shape. The body itself, of course, the paint is rubbish, but that's easy to replace. So now we're stripping this. This one stripped real easy, and I don't know if this is normal on those Hot Wheels cars, because this is the first time I stripped a Hot Wheels car, but this one went off really nice, and much nicer than on the Riley Pathfinder from last time, because there I had real trouble getting the paint off. Someone recommended me caustic soda, and I actually tried that out last week on another car, which you will see come up probably more than a month. So it went real nice with the caustic soda, and the only thing I don't like about the caustic soda is that this is so nasty stuff, you know. So here we got the body. It's in real nice shape, except that little crack in the back here. So as you can see, the entire back part is broken into halves. Don't know how this happened, but I could imagine this car was probably from the factory having some issues with this, because how do you manage to break this other than it was from the factory? Because if this car is put together, you can't really tear this apart. So I probably think there's an air bubble from the factory or something like that inside, so it made it break. Anyway, we are gluing it with some super glue, and then we're going to put some baking powder to it. First, it keeps it on all a little bit nicer, and it's also kind of like an insta set, so the glue gets rock hard immediately, and you can immediately start working on, and that's also quite nice, because if not, I have to let it dry for a very long time. So now we are painting this the traditional Wayne's World light blue. I mixed this color with some Mr. Hobby white and put some Tamiya blue in it, literally like 2 drops, and it's almost too dark for my taste, but I kind of like it like that, and it went on really nice. I would be happy if every respray I did went so nice. So I had no trouble thinning up the paint. It was always thinned perfectly, and it really sprayed on nice. It had a nice coverage, and yeah, I'm really happy with that, I have to say. So now I have the paint for drying, and I always put them under this box to dry, because I never show this, but I always do that, so that the paint turns out real nice and no dust keeps the paint shine from really shine after that. So I let the paint dry for probably 3 days, really, just really to make sure, because this is an acrylic color. And now I'm going to apply this decals, because I suppose some of you may have seen Wayne's World, and the car in Wayne's World had those little flames on it, and I made this decal for that. But you should never use Humbrol decal fix on Mr. Hobby paints, because the decal fix kind of removed part of my paint, as I would put thinner on there or something like that, and I managed to wipe it off before it did more damage. But if this was a car that meant more to me, I would have probably repainted it. But this is just a quick little project, you know. I saw the Pacer and it reminded me to Wayne's World, and I wanted to do it up. And it, it's not my favorite car, so I don't put too much effort in there, because I had to focus on my VW Beetle Gooseneck Caravan, where a couple things went wrong. So expect to see this to see the first part of that video in 2 weeks. Anyway, so now I'm painting in the hubcaps, and if some painting goes wrong, I just wipe it away with a toothpick. This does work real nice, and I've used this technique in the past. I've just never shown it on camera, so I definitely recommend that. And now we're painting in the rear number plate. I know most American cars of that era don't have black number plates, but back then where I live we had black number plates, and I just really liked that. So that's why I chose to go for a black number plate. I'm also painting some black trim on the bumper there. It's just to let it look a little more like the real thing, because as you may know, I'm a little of a purist, and if I don't restore a car back to original, everything has to be hyper realistic. They always try to put in as much detail as possible, and so also on this car. Also, if this is kind of a fantasy car, I don't like too much, because I more like stock car, or not stock cars, but cars in original, so original cars with no modifications to them. But this one I just thought I would do a little Wayne's World Dragster on there. So I'm painting in the front indicators too, and I also painted some parts on the body like the rear lights, some chrome trim and so on, door handles, sorry, and yeah, I also applied black wash to the grille, and this is what we started with. Not a very nice looking car, but it reminded me a lot to Wayne's World, so I chose to pay a little tribute to this movie. And here we go. I'm happy with the chrome trim on this one. I also replaced the exhausts, as you can see, because I wanted to drill the original ones out, and I managed to screw them up completely. So I placed some new ones on there. I painted in the interior differently too. I painted in the rear lights, and yeah, that's all that there's pretty much today. And next week there's going to be an American car too, cause we're doing a build off with Matchbox Mark, and also with another restoration YouTuber, which is 2AHD Cut. I'm not sure if I pronounced this wrong or true, because I'm a German native speaker, so it's kinda hard for me. And yeah, that will be about American muscle cars, and I would say definitely subscribe to Matchbox Mark and to AHD Cut if you don't want to miss our build off, and if you're new to this channel, consider to subscribe too, because I got some really cool projects for you going on. I also got a VW Beetle gooseneck caravan. I just painted it yesterday, so that should come up in 2 weeks. Next week is going to be a build off, and then yeah, stay tuned for that. So now I'd like to say thanks for watching. Consider to subscribe if you haven't already. Tell me in the comments what you think about that. Should I do more of this kind of unrealistic, strange stuff, or should I get more of my realistic, usual stuff? I would like to do more realistic, usual stuff. And yes, as always, leave a comment, consider to subscribe, and see you next time.